Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Coach Tiffany Parra, editor-in-chief of Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. Happy Friday, y'all. It is our featured Business Friday. I am so excited to bring on one of our new amazing contributing and content providers of Phoenix Fitness Fanatics. Let me go ahead and bring her on in. What's going on, Miss Empress? Ayana?
Hey girl, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you.
Me too.
I'm so excited
I'm
to have
doing
you in the family.
excellent. Yeah, I can't wait to get into the conversation. I'm doing excellent today. Thank you so much for having me, Tiffany. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So please just share just a little bit with our audience, about just who you are, where you are, and just a little bit about what you do. Don't give them too much though, because we're about to dig on
Okay.
in.
Okay. So I'm Empress Ayana, the founder of ONYX Restorative Justice, LLC. I'm a lifestyle elevation specialist. And basically what I do with my business is I support Black women business owners through business development strategizing, through marketing, branding, graphic design, and my administrative background. I've been doing administrative work for about 20 years now. So I also help for Black women business owners to streamline their business, make sure that their processes are efficient, effective, so that they can scale their business and make some money. So I'm a certified holistic health consultant. I've been doing this work for, I would say, about 15 years or so, and I really love what I do. Just being a Black woman myself, I just feel like it's important for me to focus on myself as well as the people that look like me.
So awesome. I love it. I love it. So what inspired you to create ONYX Restorative Justice? Look, ORJ. I'm just going to say ORJ. Okay.
Yes.
How has this vision evolved over the years, you doing this?
Oh my goodness. So yeah, my business has taken on many different lives over the year. And so originally when I started, because before I started being a business owner, I was working in the anti-sexual violence movement.
Okay.
And so when I first started the business, it wasn't called ONYX Restorative Justice. It was called Diamond in the Rough Education and Wellness, or DREW, was our acronym. And during that time, we were more centered and focused on like the background that I was coming from as it related to, anti-sexual violence. And I did do some of similar things that I do now as it relates to certain workshops that I might offer as it relates to setting healthy boundaries and things like that. However, since then, I kind of honed in over the years on what I was really passionate about, what I really enjoyed doing. And that was providing services as it related to like marketing. I'm really just loved the idea of streamlining, putting things in order and, all that kind of good stuff. So I decided to more focus on my administrative background and, my background in anti-oppression and all that kind of good stuff, and decided to incorporate into my business. And over the years, I had become also a certified holistic health consultant. So I wanted to also add that in as it related to my approach to the work that I do. So I don't do like holistic health assessments and all that kind of stuff like I used to. I'm more focused on emotional wellness in that area. So over the years, my business has kind of like become something that focuses on helping Black women to develop their businesses and make it what they want it to be, but also with a focus on the self, right? On how we approach our work and how we see ourselves as we're making our way through. So those are some of the transitions that my business kind of has made over the years. But I think ultimately it was really coming from my own desire to find more power in my existence, and it kind of emanated out from there.
Wow, I just love that. So you said a few things that just coming at me, girl. Okay. one of the big things was setting those healthy boundaries. As
Mhm.
an entrepreneur, I think really us as a community, as Black women, we tend to do it all, right? I mean, it's
Mhm.
just everything, right? You put a lot on your
Mhm.
shoulders. So as an entrepreneur, how do you begin to be able to set those healthy boundaries and really be able to put those in place?
Well, Tiffany, I think that this is not an easy kind of like topic for most people because all women, right, are expected. Like so many people are feeding off of our energy,
Right.
and so they need us. They're expecting for us to do things, and I think that is just really more layered when you're talking about Black women because not just our families, but actually like the community as a whole in the world are looking to Black women to fix things, to provide guidance for things, and put our bodies on the line as it relates to certain things that are kind of happening. So
Mm-hmm.
I believe that when it comes to setting healthy boundaries, it's layered and it can be difficult because it really calls us to look at ourselves and for
Mm-hmm.
us to say that we're okay with what happens as a result of us wanting to establish healthy boundaries or healthier boundaries in our lives, as it relates to ourselves and then as it relates to our business. So it really starts with internally and how you feel about yourself and how you see yourself and how you value yourself, right? Because when you value yourself, you value what you're doing and what your passion is, you just have to get some of the other noise kind of like out of the way. Okay, well, my kids need my husband or my spouse needs me, and or my mom expects for me to come and show up and have tea with her, whatever. So it may be a multitude of different things. So I
Mm-hmm.
believe that when it comes to establishing boundaries, it's about being able to communicate what you need and being okay with whatever the result of that that comes from that, right? Like, because a lot of times you're going to get, when you are establishing healthy boundaries, you're going to get a lot of pushback from
Right.
people, and I think that's the sad part about establishing healthy boundaries because it also, there's a sense of grief that you
Mm-hmm.
might have to go through as it relates to your relationships with other people kind of changing, evolving to or devolving, all depending on the situation or whatever it may be. So I think it's just about being okay too with the process when you are establishing healthy boundaries. And for me, the year 2025 has just been about allowing myself to only absorb what belongs to me and
Right.
allow for everybody else to kind of deal with what belongs to them. And I think it can be complicated and complex when we're talking about our children, we're talking about a lot of different things, because I just think it's about a conversation about how the people around you can support you in a
Mm-hmm.
way that you can achieve the things that you are looking for in this world. And that emanates, well, and that translates rather to business as well. And when it comes to how you're dealing with your clients, how you're dealing with your team, a lot of times people might feel like they might be accustomed to having a certain kind of access to you, things looking
Mm-hmm.
type of way. And so it's like I said, it's really just allowing for everybody to kind of deal with themselves and really developing that emotional intelligence that allows you to establish these boundaries and kind of just be okay and go with the flow and give yourself grace as you make your way through the process. But putting people in line is starting with yourself. Put yourself in line and you should be at the front of the line, period.
Okay. Put yourself in line. All right, people, for real. You heard it. Y'all just, man, thank you so much for that. You are so right. We really do. We need to start with us. So, look, everybody,
Mhm.
we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. And if you are tuning in, if you're tuning in live or if you're tuning into the replay, go grab your phone, share out. We want everybody to tune into this amazing interview with Empress Ayana and all these nuggets that she's dropping here. All right. So, we will be right back in a minute. And we are back. I tell you, that Mupo entertainment commercial is so much fun. It's got me
I
dancing.
love that commercial. That is so cute.
Isn't it fun?
Yes, I love it.
But we are back, everybody. This is Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine, elevating your mind, body, and spirit. It is our featured Business Friday, and we have the amazing Empress Ayana in the house. She is CEO of ONYX Restorative Justice LLC. And look, I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of summarize what we just went over. I mean, some of the just key points that really hit me is, finding the value in self, communicating what you need, right? Because we don't communicate what we need. We are so caught up in just living life and really just supporting everybody around us that we're not communicating what we need. So we need to communicate what we need. We need to be okay with this process, everybody, right? And be able to just ask for the support. And how do we ask for the support? We just ask. We just ask, right? And it is so hard. And that really just important piece too is developing that emotional intelligence, and that emotional intelligence in yourself for you and how you are feeling, how things are making you feel, and also being able to have that open emotional intelligence with the ones around you. And that last one before we stop is put yourself in line. All right.
At the front of the line.
At the front of the line. Put yourself at the front of the line. It starts with you, not anybody else around you. So excellent, excellent. So I know, Empress, so many, entrepreneurs, they're struggling with their visibility, they're struggling with their branding. What are the biggest mistakes that you see that business owners are making out there? And how can you help them overcome some of these challenges? Because I know it's hard to show up.
Yeah, it really is. And so I would say that one of the biggest things that I see with business owners is sometimes it's okay. So there's a few different things, but I think number one is a lack of clarity in their brand identity. And so what that really means is that they haven't clearly established like who their target audience is. They haven't, totally established like how their business is going to operate, what they want people to feel, as they're engaging with the business, just different types of things like that. They might be doing a multitude of different things. So I think, as it relates to streamlining as well, a lot of times, okay, so one of the main things that I've heard in business is like you choose one thing and you focus on that. And I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but I believe that as humans, a lot of us have like different passions. We have different things that we're kind of doing at one time. And I believe personally that you do not have to focus on one thing. I believe that it makes more sense for you to find ways to combine your passions and streamline your passions so that they flow, and that it's clear, like people understand why they're coming to you, what value you bring, what problems do you solve for them. So I think, helping to build a bridge between you and the communities that you want to serve. So I think that's one of the biggest kind of issues is being able to scale from that point, because, there's more development that needs to happen in that business that will help the business have a higher scalability. So as far as like some of the things that I do and helping brands or businesses to, have that scalability or just in general, right? Like having more clarity in their brand identity. Well, for me, I really dig down. I really like walk side by side with my client and get a good understanding of who they are, what ultimately they want to achieve with their business. And not only that, but I also am always thinking when I'm dealing with my clients, I'm always thinking about how can I help the business to grow based off of not where they are right now, but where they want to go. Because I think a lot of times we get focused on the now, or we might be really tied into fear. So one of the other things I believe is a major issue is a fear of investing in your business, and which can kind of connect with imposter syndrome to an
Mm-hmm.
extent. You just don't think like maybe it's worth it, or you're worth it, or your business and things like that. So I also empower my clients through the process so that they understand like you have value, you're bringing value to the table, you're bringing value to the business world, and also helping them to have a brand that is authentic, that stands
Mm-hmm.
out from the crowd, and helping the business owners and clients to understand what that value is and to believe in it.
Yes, yes. So ORJ is really deeply committed to creating safe spaces for Black women entrepreneurs. Why is this so necessary in the business world, especially in the climate today?
Ooh, oh wow. So, personally, I know that as a Black woman, I think that no matter what level you achieve, whether, when it comes to your degrees, no matter what kind of jobs you get, no matter, what level you rise to in the corporate, or, not whatever, like, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all have similar and common experiences that tie us together.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that Black women bring an extraordinary value to the business world, right? And we need to have space that really nurtures us in the space that we're in currently in this world, where a lot of people siphon from out of our off of our energy. So what I do is I provide a space where I make it more about us valuing our own energy and us
Mm-hmm.
being able to get something from out of it, like before we're giving it out to someone else. Like, how do we save some of that energy for ourselves and
Mm-hmm.
then allow that to emanate out so we can put that energy into the things that we value as it
Right.
relates to our business? So when it comes to creating spaces for Black women specifically, business owners, I believe is of the utmost importance that we have those safe spaces
Mm-hmm.
where we can develop ourselves, where we have people that look like us and can understand what it is that we might be going through. We can connect with one another, because it's not about what do you call it, when it's not about trauma bonding or anything like that. It's just about knowing like, hey, this person understands, or somebody in this group
Right.
understands where I'm coming from, what's happening with me, and us
Mm-hmm.
growing and developing together in that space. So I believe that it's really important. And the thing about it is that even though my target audience is Black women, I understand that that's not their target audience. So I think it's also about making sure that you offer opportunities and you offer, like, areas for business owners to be able to grow and
Mm-hmm.
learn as it relates to their target audience as well. So I think, it's also just about providing opportunities that are, that covers a span of,
Mm-hmm.
different things that help us to feel comfortable, help us to feel confident when we're going out there into the business world doing what we have to do.
Right, right. And I think honestly, like having that safe space, like you said, it's vital because of all the similarities, right? We do tend to deal with, even though it's a whole different, experience, whole different situation, but the similarities are there, and to be able to have a space where you can talk about that and someone be able to say, hey, I feel you, sis. I understand, what you're going through. I've got sisters of all, nationalities, colors, creeds, everything.
Mhm.
But I know that when I have, some of my, Black women entrepreneurs in the room, that they are going to have a little bit better understanding of what I'm talking about with those shared experiences. So I just really love that you have created that space for, for Black women to be able to, just just build each other up. And when you're talking about that energy, that valuing your own energy, I mean, you're pouring out, and you hear all the time. I mean, I think I heard it the first time in a Lisa Nichols workshop, where she said, you got to really have that cup of overflow and be able to serve from that overflow, because you don't want to give out of your full cup, because when you give out of your full cup, you're depleting yourself.
Yes.
So that space is them being able to have that overflow. And I love that. I absolutely love
Yay. Yes.
it. So having a group, you're a business owner, you're a mom. I mean, you're doing a whole lot, Empress. So what does self-care look like to you, like for you? And also, how is it that you were able to just juggle it all? Because it takes a very special individual to be able to juggle all these different things and be able to just manage and maintain and be successful at it. So share.
Yeah. I just wanted to say really quickly that the name of the group that I created is called the Black Women's Entrepreneurial Collective. And that is, we call it the BWEC is the acronym for it. And that is housed or homed on Alignable. So if you're on Alignable, you're a Black woman, entrepreneur, listen, like it's a wonderful space for you to join. So I just wanted to say that really quickly. And we are working on some really, really amazing things inside of that group as it relates to, offering more visibility, more scalability to our members on there. So as it relates to self-care and how I approach that and, managing all the different things I have going on, Tiffany, it has been a real struggle. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I feel like I've lived multiple lifetimes all in this one lifetime, right? And just like my businesses, they have grown with me. They have, done all the things like with me, right? And so as it relates to that, like I'm a mom of 5, and my youngest child is 4 years old, but the rest of my children are actually adults. So I have an almost 30-year-old, y'all. So, it was a lot harder when everybody was under the same roof. Obviously, my youngest daughter was not, born, but when I had 4 children under the same roof, that was very difficult to manage. But what I will say is that now that I've had kind of like more time and space for me to be able to take some of that energy back for myself and be able to have some space to kind of like think and grow myself. I mean, I've been doing it all along, but I think once I'm more so able to like focus on it a lot more. And what I do is a lot of positive self-talk. So if I see myself starting to, go off, to the left or something like that, and I'm starting to say things about myself, or I'm starting to think things that may not be in alignment with where I want to go, I think like checking that right then and there, and being able to recognize when your self-talk is not in alignment with what you want and your truth of where you're going, right? So I believe that that's like a major part of self-care. And also as it relates to our health and wellness, right? Making sure you're getting enough water, making sure you're getting enough rest, and setting healthy boundaries is a part of your self-care. Okay. So, telling people don't wake me up in the middle of the night. If you got a spouse, need your rest, whatever it may be, whatever that might look like for you, right? For me, it's about eating healthy foods. It's about not overeating. It's about being aware of if I'm being triggered to consume certain types of food. It's about maintaining my hormonal balances and just kind of like, I like to watch myself, right? I like to look at myself. I like to be, I think the more you look at yourself, you kind of watch yourself, you can be more aware of where you need to make some adjustments and some change and things like that. I try to exercise. I won't say I try. I do exercise. multiple times in a week. And even if I'm not exercising, I'm still making my deep breathing, exercises. I'm really dealing with my anxiety. I had really, really bad anxiety for a long time. And I didn't even realize it. I'm just thinking, this is just a regular part of life. I'm not even realizing that there's something happening, chemically within.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a background, like my childhood is very traumatic, right? Like my life has been very traumatic over the years. And so I've been overcoming a lot over the years. And so, as it relates to that, I think it's about also going to therapy. If you feel like you need to go to therapy, doing
Go.
it, right? Yes, go to therapy, do what you need to do as it relates to that. I did go to therapy for a lot of years to get to the point where I'm at, but that's a whole nother different story. But yeah, go ahead, go to therapy, make sure you get the right therapist, and and know when to let a therapist go if you're not getting what you need, type of a thing. If you see some red flags. But yeah, so dealing with your mental health is a major part of self-care. And what else? I think, yeah, so how you eat, staying hydrated, just making sure you establish a routine for yourself
Mm-hmm.
that makes you feel good, but also understanding how to be flexible and not allowing things to kick you off of your, where you're going, right? Like
Right.
not taking you to the left or anything like that, or, off of your square type of a thing. And
Mm-hmm.
kind of go with the flow, take a deep breath, understand you are actually not in control of much, and to focus on what you actually are in control of.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times we do get kind of, we get upset, when we're not in control.
Right.
And I
With the
think that's a
character.
major part of it, is that the only thing that you're in control of is yourself and how you respond to things. So you're not in control of even your children sometimes. You have to be in control of yourself and know which way you're going to go and how you're going to deal with something. So take that deep breath
Yeah.
and know that everything is going to be okay. Maintaining a positive mindset, I think, ultimately is the go-to.
Yes. Yeah, you got to keep that positive mindset on it. I mean, and I think we forgot how to breathe.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, we
seriously.
really did, because it's the power of the pause. And we don't pause. We just tend to just pop off a lot of
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
And that power of that pause is everything, because it gives you a chance to think about what you're about to say. It gives you a chance to bring your heart rate down just a little bit, so you're not up here as you're going into the conversation. And it's about self-regulation, right? And being
Mhm.
self-aware. And that is just, oh my gosh, this is it's just it's so amazing. So
Yeah, I was just going to say too, my business is grounded in self accountability.
mm,
So, at the end of the day, you cannot be mad at somebody else. But also, I wanted to say really quickly is that even if you don't get it right, like giving yourself grace, because you're a human being, you're working to overcome some things, and you don't need anybody else's validation. Validate yourself, at the end of the day. If you feel like, okay, I could have done better, you don't owe anybody anything. You just owe that to yourself. So just do better the next time, and just be okay with the fact that, hey, you're working to pick up better habits. You're working to be more self-aware and all that kind of good stuff, because beating yourself up is not going to accomplish anything. It's just going to bring you right back.
bring you right back. Just
Mhm.
bring you right. And nobody knows. Like when you're showing up, it's like people are so hard on themselves. And when they're rolling out different things, especially for business owners, right? You're rolling out projects and books and this and that. And sometimes it doesn't come out exactly the way you may have wanted it to, right? But nobody knows that.
Mhm.
So just be positive about it, accept that, and just say, I mean, if it was something that you need to work on for next time, work on it for next time and make the next one even better.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
won't be
Just
so
keep
hard
it
anymore.
moving. Keep it moving. Keep improving. Don't stay stuck
Right.
at, where you're at. Just keep on elevating, keep on moving, and knowing that life doesn't stop there. It continues on.
That's right. That's right. So what's next for ORJ? I know you got some exciting
Oh,
projects and a whole lot of different
woo,
things going on. So share
yes.
with us.
Okay. So as far as some of the things that I have going on, I have a few things. Okay, so I have an event that's coming up and it's called ORJ's Invest in Self Business Info Session for Black Women. And basically, in that, I share my own Invest in Self story. As well, we're going to do a little bit of talking about setting healthy boundaries in business, as well as developing a nice, strong brand identity. So we'll also talk about that. And for Black women entrepreneurs who are not already connected with the Black Women's Entrepreneurial Collective, we'll also get you on Alignable and we'll get you connected to the BWEC in real time. So that's another thing, because we do have a team that supports our members as it relates to making sure that your alignable profiles are up to par. You're getting the visibility and the credibility that you need. And so through that process of doing that, it's $15 in order for you to fast track into the BWEC. But as it relates to my business and the event that I have coming up, as I said, it's going to be on Zoom. So it's May 22nd at 10 a.m. And you can find that event on ONYX Restorative Justice, and that is on Facebook. You can find it there. It's on all events. I'm Empress Ayana Nadira on Facebook as well, so you can find it there. I have it everywhere, so I have that going on as well. We will be having a guided meditation session during that as well to close us out, because health is wealth, right? So that's what we have an understanding of. So we will be having a guided meditation session. I'm really super excited about that event, because ever since COVID, I have not been, like now that we're out of COVID and all that kind of good stuff, this is me kind of getting back in the swing of things as it relates to, doing like an event for my business and stuff like that. I'm doing a bunch of other stuff, but this is my first real event in a while. Okay, so I'm doing that, but also one of the projects that we're working on for the Black Women's Entrepreneurial Collective is a marketplace that we've created. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Sometimes I can't believe it. So yeah, I mean, at first we thought it was going to be a directory and, just a way for engaging and finding, the services that you are looking for. But what we realized is that we're actually developing a marketplace. And so in this marketplace, it's really a beautiful space because it allows for Black women business owners to promote their products, promote what they're doing. We have a space for them to put their events up there. You can chat with them. So anybody could be a shopper in this marketplace. So it does not matter. You could be representing yourself. You could be representing, your organization, your corporate business, that you're a part of. It does not matter. But if you find value in supporting Black women business owners, this is a perfect space for you to come and have all your needs met. So we'll have all the Black women business owners from so many different walks of life and so many areas of expertise as it relates to business. So please, please, please get locked in with us as it relates to that. So we're still in the beta phase. And we actually will be having a shoppers info session that will be on May 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And everything that I'm saying as it relates to time is Eastern Standard Time, y'all. So because I know we have people on here probably from all over and everything. So I just want to be clear about that. So that also will be on Zoom, and we haven't released it just yet as it relates to there being an event online, but be on the lookout for that. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, follow me, okay? Follow me. I'm gonna lead you
Follow her,
in a good
y'all. Follow
direction.
her. Look, and you are also going to see some amazing information from Empress in Phoenix Fitness Fanatics Magazine Monthly. She's got a marketing 101. So you definitely want to tap into that and just learn more about how to tap into the BWEC. Your girl right here is going to be, look, I'm the spotlight here for their spring. All right. Woo, 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 woo. So definitely tap in so you can learn a little bit more about, what I do outside of the magazine as well. I am so excited, and it's just a great place to be. You meet some really amazing women there as well that can really support you and really just love on you as a, woman, Black business owner. So definitely tap in, everybody. So Empress, girl, I'm so just I'm so happy to just have you as part of the family. Thank you so much for joining us today and just letting us learn a little bit about you and your business and all the amazing things that you got going on. So, is there just a little bit of words of wisdom, words of encouragement that you can close us out with today?
Well, okay. So, yes, but before I do that, I did want to say, and to your point, you had kind of mentioned it about me joining the Phoenix Fitness Fanatics team, and how you can also find me there. So I'm really super excited to be joining the contributing writers, space and everything that you have going on, and offering some marketing one-on-one tips inside of the magazine. So I'm super excited about that. So that is another project that I am currently a part of, and is new for me. And as far as some parting words and some advice is, invest in self. You are worth it, no matter what anybody says to you, no matter what other messaging you're getting from other places. Just remember, nobody's going to understand your journey and where you're going in your path like you know it and you get it. So don't get caught up and let people get you all caught up and thrown off a track. Stay on course, stay on the path, trust yourself, trust your journey. And that would probably be like my main thing is center yourself, invest in yourself. You are worthy.
Yes. Y'all, you are worthy. All right. Take that
Yes,
into the weekend. Take that into the rest of your life.
yes, yes,
You are worthy, and invest in yourself, whether it be that passion that you've always wanted to do, that place you've always wanted to go, whether it be that business that you've always just thought about starting. It's time to start. Invest in yourself and invest in people like Empress here that can help you get to the next level with your branding, with your marketing and things like that. So everyone, we want to really just thank you all so much for joining us today on this amazing Friday. We made it, y'all. We made it.
we made
Okay. So I want to wish you an amazing weekend. We love you so much, and we'll definitely see you next time. Take care, everybody.
it. Thank you, Tiffany.